All right, so I moved to Augusta about 11 years ago. I didn't know a lot of people here. I didn't have any family here. I wanted to come to a church, but at the same time, the thought of going by myself was intimidating. It was scary, so I decided to wait. About a year later, my roommate at the time wanted to visit KidFocus, so she invited me to go with her. We came. I loved it, but she decided to go back to the church that she grew up in, which left me in the same boat of coming by myself. That was again too intimidating. My attendance fizzled out until I wasn't going at all. Fast forward another year, and I still didn't have the community that I wanted. I still didn't have that group that I felt like I belonged in. I still wanted to be at church, but it was just scary. So I ended up, I didn't have that dream, that image that I had made in my head as a little girl of what I wanted my life to look like when I grew up. So it just wasn't coming to fruition. I was frustrated. I was bitter, honestly. I felt like the Lord had completely forgotten about me. I felt like everybody else was getting their dream. I wasn't getting my dream. And I knew in that moment I needed to go back to church. So I came back to KidFocus, and I remember standing in worship that first Sunday that I came back, and I'm looking around at a room full of people, most of whom I didn't know. I had met a few people when I was here before, but mostly strangers, and I just felt a sense of belonging. I felt like I belonged here. I felt a sense of peace. I felt like the Lord was saying, I see you, and that is when I knew that KidFocus was supposed to be my home. So when I first started coming, I knew KidFocus was supposed to be my home, but I also kind of wanted to just blend in on the back row. I didn't want to leave my comfort zone. I didn't want to do anything that was going to make me stand out in any way. So I was coming and I was going to small group, but that was it. The enemy really used my insecurities against me and my fears, but the Lord really fought for me and pursued me. Sent multiple people after me. Hey, why don't you serve in this area? Why don't you serve in this area? And before I knew it, I was serving on 3 different teams. I was attending regularly. I was going to small group regularly. And from there, my life just completely changed. I met a lot of people. These friends turned into family. That family turned into a community. I felt like I belonged. I had a home. And I felt like I was making a difference. And looking back, I don't even recognize that person that I was 10 years ago. I had the same insecurities. I had the same battles. Those don't go away, but I'm able to combat them a lot easier than I was before. In my weak moments, I have that community around me that can fight for me when I can't fight for myself. This community that I made through serving and through being involved here. And it just really changed my heart. So when circumstances may not have changed the way that I wanted them to, I had so much more peace and so much more joy, and I was just so much more focused on the Lord that I was willing to do what He wanted me to do in this season, as opposed to being rigid and trying to follow that plan that I made for myself. I feel like the Lord does so much for us, so much that we don't deserve. And what He asks of us is to follow Him, to glorify Him. And in doing that, one of the easiest ways is to love other people, to serve other people. We see so many examples in the Bible of Jesus doing that for others, stopping for others, giving His time for others. And I feel like that's the least of what we can do, is to really give our time. And there's going to be so many reasons why we can't, whether we feel like we don't have the time to do it, our fears, our insecurities, whatever that may be. But the Lord will really meet you there if you step out in faith and step out in obedience, and He'll change your heart too. So in the 10 years that I've been here, I've seen KidFocus change so much. It's grown so much. We were literally busting out of the walls in our old building. So I look forward to seeing that growth in our new building. I look forward to the day when we're busting out of these walls in our new church. And I look forward to seeing people really dive into God's Word and learn the Bible. We have so many opportunities here at KidFocus to study theology and to learn what is true and what is real. And I look forward to seeing people take advantage of that. And I think we're going to start leaving the walls of these churches, going into the community, and making a bigger impact than we ever have before.